Donald Trump's victory last fall was a surprise to many rural Virginians and the media. Virginia political analyst Dr. Bob Holsworth told Virginia Farm Bureau members at their annual convention last November that rural Virginians voted solidly in favor of the Republican ticket. They joined millions of other rural Americans and voters from Rust Belt communities seeking a change from politics as usual.
And so that different composition, and in particular, the rural vote and the vote out of the manufacturing communities was very, very important to Donald Trump. So if you look at the end result of the election, you'd have to say that Trump owes an awful lot to rural America.
American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duvall also spoke to Virginia Farm Bureau members, saying he expects Trump to listen to the concerns of rural America.
We know that rural America brought you here, and that is a tremendous asset that we're going to set on and remind him of, and I think that he cares about rural America.
Duvall said farmers are expecting common sense regulations out of Washington in the future, particularly when it comes to the environment. The Farm Bureau has been arguing against what it feels are overreaching water regulations for several years, saying federal agencies don't have the authority to pass these rules and that farmers are already doing a great deal to protect the environment.
And I know that you're in the Chesapeake Bay area, and I know how critical that has been, how burdensome it has been. I know how difficult it is. I know that you're all out there doing these best management practices. A lot of them are not being recognized. Hopefully we can bring some common sense to that.
What else can farmers expect from a Trump administration? Both Holsworth and Duvall says it will probably be a mixed bag, with the new president agreeing on some issues and disagreeing on others, particularly the proposed Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty.
In terms of issues like EPA regulation, estate tax issues, tax reform issues, and Obamacare, my guess is that that Trump agenda is going to be pretty consistent with what rural America has endorsed for quite some time.
I do know that he does business all around the world. And I do know that he knows that American agriculture can't survive if we don't have access to those other markets and tear down those barriers. Now, whether it's TPP or Trump TPP or whatever it might be called, I think that Mr. Trump's going to realize the importance of trade to agriculture, and I think we'll have a trade treaty.
Farmers have been asking for reforms for the alien guest worker program for years, warning valuable crops are being lost because there aren't enough farm workers. With Trump campaigning to close the Mexican border to illegal immigrants, the odds of guest worker reform happening soon are low. But Duvall believes Trump will at least listen to farmer concerns.
They said, we can't agree with you on what you want, but what we'll tell you is we don't know what the solution is yet, but we will have agriculture at the table when we solve that problem.
Looking to the next political race, Holsworth says the Republican Party has a solid chance to win the governor's office in Virginia this year. He praised Farm Bureau for focusing on rural economic development, no matter which party is in office. And he predicts the wild political ride isn't over yet, at least for Virginia voters in 2017.
Like it or not, there are only 2 gubernatorial elections in the country, here in New Jersey. This is going to be perhaps the initial referendum on Donald Trump.
No matter which way the political winds blow, Farm Bureau members plan to continue doing what they do best, feeding Virginia and the world. In Hot Springs, Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde.